Hi bakers, hi everybody. If you're checking out my channel, I'm not a real troll, just a part-time troll. I troll this one particular woman because she has abused many animals, killed many animals by her maltreatment because she's exploited them to get YouTube views and not taking care of them properly, which has led to their death. This is proven. She's also killed one to get a new puppy, okay? So, she also takes advantage of vulnerable people in vulnerable positions and exploits people for opioids and money. So, my trolling is for a good cause. I don't just troll to troll. That being said, to my regulars, thank you all for your kind words. As you all know, I had a pretty severe injury 6 weeks ago. I just had my second checkup on my eyeball, and it has healed really good. The ripped cornea is healed. It looks really good. The steroid and eye drops actually made my vision turn out really good, so my vision looked a little better than it had before, so I don't have to go around wearing a patch. The bruises on my body 6 weeks later are still not all the way healed, so it's hard for me to take a shower and look in the mirror and see those bruises. But I'm getting through things one day at a time, and the positive messages that you all give me help so much. You just don't even know. You don't even know. I mean, thank you so much. I don't show my face because I'm enjoying the anonymity, because I know that once I do, I'm going to get a hell of a lot of backsplash. I don't know. I can't talk. Because as we know, the person that I troll does believe that I am one of her friends from long ago. So I have to do what I have to do because of the good overall. Anyway, I want you guys who are watching Exposed to go down a pose scenario with me, okay? I want you to think of 3 things, and then we're going to go down this one road, okay? So, if you have not watched the Exposed channels, if you've not watched Jules narrate the full KFC Mukbang, you need to do it now. It's going to make your stomach ache. I mean, I hate to have anybody, feel an ounce of discomfort, but for this purpose, it is the most illustrative example of what we are dealing with here and how abusive she is and how she exploited her own child for financial gain and emotional abuse, and I don't even know what else at this point. And so please watch that one. The second one I'm going to refer to is when she was drinking the Jameson, and she had that ridiculous stocking cap on, so she looked like an uncircumcised penis. Okay. The third one is when she walked in with tacos because Goonie was there, and I don't remember the name of that one. I do apologize. It was, gosh, I can't think of it. She walked in with the tacos and she was mad. Okay, so the reason why I'm referring to all 3 is because I want you to look at the KFC with this pose scenario and take the information gleaned from the other 2 items. In the Jameson video, she was screaming and she was drunk and obnoxious, and Burke her son did not want anything to do with her. He distanced herself when she was in these most obnoxious drunk states. And she does pills, and she just said the other day she can't even remember how Ozark ended because she's gonna have to rewatch it because she was so gorked down on pills with her muscle relaxants, pain pills, and Xanax and Ambien. Now, you tell me what one doctor in the United States right now will prescribe any of those, let alone a combination of those, let alone long-term. There isn't. She's doctor shopping. She's getting these pills from her subbies or anybody else in that apartment. And anybody else who's giving her that super chat for coffee is enabling her to buy drugs off the street. That's what she is doing. Okay, that's a fact. Now, in that, when Burke refused to come into her and bring her some ice or something for her alcohol, he refused. He was scared. He didn't want to be around her, and I don't blame him. But she said these words: "If you don't come in here, you're not going to be a model or an actor, Burke. Let them see you So she manipulated him. That's his dream, because she taught him that it's not admirable to go and get a job as a cashier. It's only admirable to be rich, famous, like a model or an actor. And even if he accomplished those things, even if he, were to be in that 1% of the population that can be a model or an actor, it wouldn't be good enough. Nothing will ever be good enough for her. So you take that where she said, you won't be this if you won't get on. Take it to the tacos. When she walked in with the tacos, there was the wee pad on the floor, which caught some of the animals shit and piss, because she says that she doesn't have to train them because they go on the wee pads, which means that occasionally the piss and shit from all the animals goes on a pad. The other 90% goes on the floor. Good luck to the next person who lives in that apartment when getting that smell out, okay? Or the cat box in the fucking pantry. That's just nice, too, You always love to have a little cat shit and macaroni and cheese, right? Anyway, she said, she came in. She was mad that Burke had made some food. Burke was like, hey, I made you some food. I have some extra. You want some? You want some? And she's like, it smells good. Burke goes, she goes, it smells good, but I got tacos. Why'd you do that? I made tacos. Or I got tacos. Okay, I'm screwing up. Sorry. I just saw my son passing by in traffic in one of my many vehicles. Weird to see your vehicle going down the street the other way, going, hey, where are you going, son? Anyway, should I scream at him? Come back, you're not to be a model or an actor. Nah. I'm just trying to see if he's gonna follow me home. Come on, boy. Follow me home. Come see your mama. But anyway, so she then says, because Bert goes, why are you filming? I don't want to be filmed. Put it down. I don't want to be filmed. She's like, no, show everybody what you made. Get on film. And he's like, why do you have to film everything? She goes, and here you go. Here's part 2 to reference. She goes, I don't want to film everything, but how do you think I'm going to pay the rent, Burke? You think I want to be online? You think I want to be doing these vlogs? No, but I have to pay the rent. Okay, there you go. So she said that both in front of Burke and in front of Goonie, okay? Goonie is the ex-husband who appears every once in a while, okay? So, we know now, as we always suspected, that she was making this up, saying that this is how she's making her income. When people have told her to get the fuck off the internet and save it, she says she can't because it pays all of her bills. She's on full SSI, full welfare, okay? Food stamps, electricity, Section 8, you name it. She's a fucking welfare queen, okay? And has been for decades, okay? So you take that where she's got her son and ex manipulated into believing that she has to do these videos to make her way in life. That right now this is paying the bills, okay? She's got it, that she's got him manipulated. Now, we're going to go to the KFC video, okay? She said that he had an ear infection and that she needed his medication. And because she was between insurances, she had to pay out of pocket, okay? So she had to pay out of pocket for this because she was between insurances for his ear infection. He was somewhere and called up and said, Mom, can you come and take me to the doctor? Got something wrong with my ear. Okay. The gist of it is, through the end, if you listen through all the bullshit, he had broken a Q-tip in his ear and they needed to extract the part of the Q-tip. That's not saying there was an actual infection. She said there was an infection. He went along with it. That's not saying there was actual medication. She said there's medication. He went along with it. Okay? Now, in this video, she says, what would I have done with that money had I not had to put it into the doctor's visit? With that kind of money, I could have bought you a skateboard or something like that. Okay? Now, they're eating a big box of KFC with a cookie. If you didn't hear her high off her ass, she's high off her ass in this video. And she's speaking like an idiot. She's speaking in a way I would never Never. I've had the privilege of having 8 kids call me mama. I've given birth to the majority of those. Okay? 8 kids have called me mama, and I have never thought of talking to them in the manner in which she did any 100 of the times that she referenced him in that video. It was sick, but she was high as fuck, and she says, because she saw that he dropped his cookie. So when she had him take out the garbage, because she wanted her car to be tidy, she, tidy, just taking out the food wrappers is making your car tidy. All right, it's called throwing out your fucking food wrappers. But anyway, he dropped his cookie. And so she's like, oh God, he's got a cookie, and cookies on the floor. Oh great, a cookie's on the floor. Burke, did you know you got a cookie? And then she's like, did you know that you got a cookie, Burke? Did you know you got a cookie? You got a cookie. Who talks like that? Okay? Who talks like that? She was high. If you look at her eyes, you look at the hair. She looks like a freaking 300-pound cockatiel that mated Ursula and created some kind of god-awful beast. Okay? She looks ridiculous. And she thinks she's doing a mukbang. I don't know how, they say mukbang, but I think it's mukbang, B-A-N-G. I don't know. What a mukbang is a beautiful Asian woman eating large quantities of food. It's an oral thing, so men watch this little Asian girl putting big things in her mouth. And you know where that goes with the man's mind. Okay? Well, copycat LBL sees that people are eating large quantities of food on the internet and getting views. So she's like, oh, okay, and they call it mukbang. Okay, so I'm going to go spend $45 at KFC and hog down with my son and make them pay. Make them pay money and make them think that I just had to pay out of my pocket for the doctor. Okay, those of you who have been a mother and everybody who's lived on this planet know damn well that you do not have to pay out of pocket for a doctor's visit. When you have been on SSI and welfare, medical coupons if you will, for the last 20 years, there is no way, shape, or form. Did they write down how much this cost on her invoice? Did they give her the invoices and everything? And she had Burke convinced that yes, this is how much she just had to pay or put on a credit card? Yes, she did. Okay? Did she actually have to? Absolutely not. You can bet that when they took him back or whatever, she got the paperwork, and then it's like, look at how much I had to pay here. How am I going to pay for this? How am I going to pay for it? I don't have this kind of money, Burke. If you can't clean your ears right, look at this. I just had to come and pick you up. I was totally busy filing my nails and eating. And I just had to come and pick you up at the doctor's. Like, I have nothing else to do. And now it costed me over $200, and I have to get your medication. Okay? Look at this. What would if I had this kind of money, I would have bought you a new skateboard. And he's like, oh God, Mom, I'm sorry. She's like, no. Now how am I going to pay the power bill? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? And he's like, I'm sorry. She's like, no. You know what? Here's what we're going to do. And you need to not give a fit about this. You need to go along with this. If you want to be a model and an actor, here I go with my pose scenario. This is what she said to him. If you want to be a model or an actor, you need to show me you can do it. You need to practice with me. And if you practice with me and we get the people to give us money, I will share it with you. I will go and buy you a new skateboard. You need to go along with it. You need to eat the food. You need to show the food. You need to talk to the people. You need to look in the camera. And you need to go along with the amount of money that I say it is. And he's probably like, all right, new skateboard, all right. He's like, whatever. You don't say no to this bitch. Everybody knows that. So she's like, okay, Burke, here we go, okay? And so she starts on this, and big hint after big hint of, I just had to pay for it, but he's my boy, I'll do it. Real prone to ear infections. Yeah, your baby's what? I don't know, 12 times 12 is 144, he's 20, so what, your 420-month baby is prone to ear infections? She's saying that because, of course, we all have had babies, and they have ear infections. Their eustachian tubes are not fully developed when they're young, and, and holding them, and they get they get a little virus, and it goes right to there. All babies have ear infections. I mean, sure, a lot of people say the breastfed ones don't. I don't know. My tits didn't work. I got big freaking bazookas, but could they breastfeed properly? No. So anyway, and side note, when I got my milk in, okay, I'm going to tell you guys a little secret right here. I am a 40K natural. Okay? I'm not that big anywhere else, but I look huge because I got these big old boobs. So when people see me, you know, when they see me, you know, for 3D and what I am, they're always like, oh my God, you're a Dolly Parton. Oh, right? So when I got my milk in, there was no bra on the market that would fit. Like, I had to be like going out like the elves and the shoemaker, going to try and find a booby cage maker. I couldn't, there was no shirt that would shut. There was no nightgown. There was nothing. There was nothing that would go around me. I was a tit with legs. And I mean, honestly, like, there was nothing. I had to like basically wear a cape and just had the boobs out, and they were hot and full. My nipples are flat. Little TMI, but just so you guys know, you can jot that down. Nipples were flat and they just didn't work. And so they didn't work to breastfeed. And back then, you know, my oldest is 33. So back then that was just kind of like, okay, your nipples don't work. Bottle. It's not a big deal. You know, really, breastfeeding was not really as popular as it has become again. So it was no problem. And for me, you know, the discomfort of being able to not barely walk my gigantic milk jugs, it was great. I didn't, you know, care. I feel terribly guilty now that I didn't breastfeed. But anyway, now that this is what I'm telling you guys, because you never know who's listening. People with flat nipples now have all kinds of options. They have like little straws. They have these nipple covers you can put over, so that, you know, they're like a bottle and whatnot. And they have a lot of resources that will work to help you, even if you have flat nipples. You can breastfeed. That's what all those things are out there for. I didn't have that kind of support back in the 80s. You know, when breastfeeding was kind of just not as popular. It was kind of like a frowned on thing. It was kind of like, oh, okay, what are you, a hippie? It really was not popular. And so I had to like go into the yellow book. For those of you, it's called a phone book. It's a big old thing with all these phone numbers. And I had to call, like, I went under breastfeeding, lactation. I found the La Leche League. And I pecked in the 1-800 number, and I'm like, it won't work. And they're like, okay, stick the tit in the mouth like a sub sandwich. I'm like, but he can't breathe. My boobs are too big and they're flat. And I was like, and it hurts. It hurts. I can feel it in my toes. And they're like, yeah, you'll get used to that. And I'm like, you get used to having your tit bit on? I don't know. Anyway, so that was my experience trying to breastfeed. With my twins, I did try to pump, but I had acute kidney failure. I was in the hospital and it was just a mess. So it's like I tried to let them have the, you know, the colostrum, while they were in the NICU, and the nurses helped. It was a big freaking production getting the big old machines on these knockers. But anyway, me and my jugs. Okay. So it all goes to, a lot of people say that breastfed babies don't get ear infections. They say it's from the immunities you get from the colostrum, whatever, or maybe it's from the way that you hold them as well. You know, maybe it's that angle where it doesn't let the drainage build up. I don't know, whatever it is, but there's a huge reduction in babies that have ear infections. So I can't say, oh, all babies have ear infections. There's probably a bunch of people who have breastfed kids who have ear infections too. Bottom line is, babies have ear infections. It's not normal for a 20-year-old. I think he was 18 to 20 when Burke was in this video. It's not normal for them to have ear infections then, but she treats him like a child. And not her child. She treats him like their siblings, and that Carol is their mommy. Okay? She's like this horrible big sister that, you know, antagonizes him. It's not a mother and son relationship at all. And every time he talks to her, it just makes me cringe. She's sitting there on the video and she's like, show the people the food, Burke. Show the people the food. That's what they want to see. They want to see it, Burke. So, you know, the whole thing before was like, okay, this is how they're going to give us the money. If they see the food, they want to see you chewing the food, because she really thought you wanted to see her chewing and cutting, and in the way that she does, you know, how she's magic. She can chew in 8 different directions at once. She's a real freaking llama. She's sitting there and she's eating this chicken. And this whole dialogue she's doing at the same time. She has to nag and bitch at the same time she does anything, right? So she's nagging and bitching about how she didn't get any sauce. You know, she has to have not the medium containers, not the large containers, the actual large, not the large, but actual large containers of ranch, so she can, go ahead and bop an extra 100 calories on anything she eats, So she's like, I will not get out of my car. Oh yes, I will drive up all the way, so I will not get out of my car. I will not get out of my car for anything. It's like, that shows you are a fucking butt on legs, okay? I might be boobs on legs, but you are a butt on legs, and I'd rather be boobs on legs, I'm telling you. Because there's a lot of instances where these can get me out of trouble. A big fucking smelly butt isn't going to get you anywhere, but boobs, people love boobs. They'll get you out of a lot of trouble. I'm telling you. So anyway, she's sitting there and she starts screaming at him. And she is screaming and screeching at him. Finally gets him to get out to take out the garbage. But she has to finally go in and get her own sauce. And she's like, okay, Burke, you have to talk to the people, okay? The poor kid was like, hi. And people are like, oh, Burke, are you in school? Yes, I'm in school. He's like polite as hell because he was raised by Carol. He was not raised by that cow. So, his manners are very nice. The better he is, he's better. The less he's around her, the better he is. When he's around her, he will act like her, and that's bad. So anyway, she says something. And she wants to say it secret, and he doesn't hear her right. So he says something like, what? He's like, what? And he says it, and she screeches out. She's like, you have a big mouth. And if you look at her eyebrows went up. She was shocked. If she would not have been on film, she would have slapped him. She got this aggressive demeanor, like she was gonna freaking kill him for whatever he said. And as much as I try to re-listen to this video, I can't tell exactly what she said. Basically, what I think he said is, well, you'll get the money when you get your money from work. Now, she was trying to keep it secret that she was working, so people would think she wouldn't have any money coming in. Now, if you're begging and you've got KFC in front of you, you're not getting a cent from me, okay? You want to tell me that you used your last food stamps and you just got some chicken thighs and you're putting the last of the freaking homemade barbecue sauce you made from soy sauce and ketchup on it to marinate it, and you got hungry crying kids, I'm going to give you everything that I have. But if you have a big box of KFC and you're greasy and you're complaining about how you're not going to get up for anything and you're screeching and screaming and exploiting your son, I'm not going to give you a cent. And it makes me sick that people would enable that behavior, because like I say, watching that gave me a stomach ache. Every time she shrieked at him, it reminded me of the way that, my evil grandmother would talk to me. And I think I was 44 the last time I visited, and she's sitting there bitching. She drove me to Costco with her, and I was going to stay in the car, and she's like, well, I don't know. Okay, don't touch anything. Okay, and if you open the door, don't scratch my door. Don't bang the door on others. Okay, don't. Now, if you're going to roll out the window, don't fall out the window. I'm like, okay, I'm fucking 44, ma'am. But anyway, it's just that nonstop nagging that they have to do. Narcissists do. It's like this double language. They do it at the same time they're talking about anything else. So like I say, take those three things. Take that she has Burke convinced that she has to do vlogs to pay their way. Okay. Take that she is exploiting him, that if he doesn't come on camera, he's not going to be a real actor or a model. 3, take that she said that she was inconvenienced, she needs money, and she'll buy him a skateboard. And tell me that whole thing, that whole KFC thing isn't a skit. That is a skit. That is a skit that she had him put up to. She said, I'll get you KFC. You just go along with it. Be nice to the people and watch how much money I'm going to get. And if you're good and you do this right, I'm going to get you a skateboard. You want a new skateboard, Burke? Go along with me. And she's sitting there and she's just yucking it up. And she's saying, look at how many viewers we got now. Look at this. Oh, look. And then anytime that the camera would go, she would try and move it over to make sure she was in the freaking photo, in the photo lens. So weird. She's like, no, it's not on me. Oh, no, Burke, look, no, you screwed it up. Look at you. Look what you've done. You messed it up. No, it's not showing me. It's not showing me. Look at all the people. She's just gleaming. She's gleaming. The more people she has buying her scam, the more of a natural high she gets, and it's disgusting. You watch her just becoming electrified with this energy that she's got, knowing that she has everybody fooled. She thinks she does. She thinks she's got everybody feeling sorry for her son with an ear infection, and that she's just mother of the year because she took him to the doctor and she had to pay out of her pocket. She doesn't have that kind of money, even though she just dropped all this at KFC. And she thinks these people who watch the internet just to watch people eat food are watching and really enjoying it. And so she thinks she is just the freaking cat's meow, and she just sits there, and she's just getting off on all this attention, and she just goes and goes and goes, and her energy is up, and she thinks she's got everybody. And then she went in for that last thing where she was telling Burke to do something. She was probably telling Burke to say something about the medication they had to pick up, because she kept trying to hint at that one. So she probably, because she was like, oh, won't you feel better once you start the medication? And he's not really looking, because I don't think he had an actual ear infection. I think that, sure enough, there was a Q-tip, stuck in his ear. He couldn't hear, whatever. Maybe a little irritation from it. But I honestly, in my heart, probably after she'll hear this, she'll dig up some proof that there was an antibiotic prescribed at that time or whatever and cover up the date. I don't know. But I'm telling you, I don't think that he had a bona fide ear infection. It would be very rare for a child, a baby of that age, to have an ear infection. Even if he had them as a baby, it does not mean that you're going to have a lifetime of ear infections because you had him as a baby. And probably hers had him because she probably prop bottles all the time or give them to him flat because she couldn't be bothered to even hold a bottle with her fat man hands. So anyway, she's thinking that she is just a star. She's thinking a star is born right here, right there in her clown car. And she's got it, and she's got everybody just right where she wants them. And she thinks she's going to get that money, and she thinks she's spending that money in her head. She's thinking she's going to go and get, that perfect pink lip gloss. Not a pearly pink, not a medium pink, but actually the kind of pink that she just loves. And then maybe even a new nail polish too. She's just thinking she's got this, and she just is going and going and going, and leans over and whispers something to him, and he's like, but what about, and she's like, Burke! Sorry, you guys, I should have warned you, but that's what had happened to me. She screeches at him, and she just about lost her shit. It just about strangled him. If she could have strangled him, she would have. And she's like, you have such a big mouth! Now, 1 minute prior to that, she had said, because the phone kept dropping, 1 minute prior to that, she said, that's it. That's all they're getting. That's all the people are getting. That's all they're going to get. Like, what? Like, what people are getting what? Like, what favor are you doing to the universe while you're sitting there lying and exploiting your son? Lying, begging for money for your damn drugs, because that's all you do with the money. You had been caught on another video admitting that you sold Burke's drugs that you conned into getting, that he didn't even need. You conned a doctor into believing that Burke had a behavior disorder. Look at that kid. That kid does not have a behavior disorder. You cornered him and you filmed him, okay? So she sold his ADHD drugs. That was her second income, okay? Selling his freaking ADHD drugs. She's a drug dealer, okay? That is selling drugs that you got falsely for your kid. And she'd trade them for her freaking Ambien and Vicodin and every other thing that she has. There's no doctor that's prescribing this shit to her. Is she going to come up and show that she's got one or two things prescribed for her at some point and cover the date like she usually does? Absolutely. Absolutely. In a desperate effort to prove me wrong. But you put up all four of those medications and you show me a date. And you show the doctor. And then we'll see. Because you can't and you won't. And you know it, you fat fucking cow. But anyway, it was disgusting what she did. And what possible thing could any child boy, man, be yelled at for saying? What possible thing could anybody say that would end up in a reaction like that, unless it was something that would blow the cover off of her lie? Okay, unless you were in a lie and you were acting, and because when she was saying, okay, that's all they're gonna get, she started going back into her, anger, that fake, happy, jovial, best mommy in the world, just BFFing with her buddy son, in between nagging at him, like, I don't even know what you would talk to like that, because I would say you wouldn't even talk to an animal like that, but we know she talks to her animals like that. And that's why I have to be in my car when I do most of these, because I can't listen to her videos in my house. I would never want my kids to secondhand hear that. And I've tried, just when the kids are gone and my animals are around, and they hear the way that she's shrieking and stuff, and the way that she's talking, and they get scared, and they can't stand the bark shrieking. And the bark shrieking is because she's not taking care of the needs of her animals. They're not pacified. They're not happy. They're not satisfied. My animals get scared. They get scared. So it's like, I can only listen to this shit, when I'm in rush hour or whatever. And then I record while I'm driving, back. But I break for garage sales, so sometimes there's a part 1 and a part 2, because there isn't going to be a garage sale I'm not going to stop at. Anyway, apply that. And I could be totally wrong. But just think about it in your head. Think about those things where she's trying to convince everybody that she has to do YouTube to make the rent. That she bribed him into thinking that if she had that kind of extra money, she'd buy him a skateboard. Okay? That she's having him saying that she has the control over he's going to be a model or an actor, which he thinks would be the one thing that would make him good enough to make her proud. Take those things and look at this and tell me that what is going on that KFC thing is not a skit. Tell me that that's actual, genuine. That she paid that money out of her what? Because supposedly she doesn't have that kind of money. Where would she have it from? She doesn't. Her mother is her conservator. Her mother gets all of the state and federal monies that she is given. Her mother pays all of the essentials. And then her mother gives her what is left over. She doesn't have that much left over. Okay, we all know that. We all have to hear about it every frickin' day, right? There's all the people who say, well, if you don't like it, you don't have to watch. Well, you know what? Somebody has to watch and protect the animals, and somebody has to say something about her dealing drugs and taking drugs off of vulnerable people. And if anybody else won't, I will. It's my freaking volunteer work to the universe to just make one little thing a little better and expose what it is. And thank you, Jules, for doing all of the hard work so I can refer to it, because I'm not talented. I can't, do that and figure out how to do that and everything. And God knows no one wants to see my fat, ugly face. So anyway, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for your love and support. And just take a moment to think about if this fits, because I think it does. And have a great week. Great weekend. Oh my, OMG, it's already Thursday. So have a great weekend. I will talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.